Alright, how about we get back to our roots and do an old-fashioned From the Toy Bin video? I haven't done one of those in a very long time, and I do have quite a backlog. Unless I did some recently that were from the Toy Bin. I don't remember. Look, the point is, I got some figures, some old figures, and we're going to look at them. So, today, we're going to be looking at the Disney Afternoon Kellogg's figures. These are little figurines that you got in boxes of Kellogg cereal. I want to say around 1991 these were available. There were some released later because there's a total of 6 sets, and then there was 2 sets that came out later. But for the first couple of years, the first couple of Disney afternoon shows that came out, they did. So this is the Gummy Bears in what I think is probably the most overlooked and underrated of the Disney afternoon cartoons. It's a shame they don't really do much with them anymore. I think there is some kind of like copyright issue or something like that with the actual Gummy Bears candies or something like that. I don't remember, but the point is we got some figures out of it at the very least. This is Cubby, the little swordsman kid character that everyone hated or liked. I don't know. The Gummy Bears show was really good, and not a lot of people talk about it. So yeah, there's that one. Let's get him in frame. And we have Sunny, who is the girl of the group. There was only 6 Gummy Bears. So wait, 6, right? 1, 2, yes, 6, because I have 4. These came out in sets of 4. And there was 4 original sets and then 2 that were released later, but we'll get into that. But anyway, these are very cool to collect. And they were fun to, because they're cereal prizes, and, those were always fun. I don't even think they do that really anymore. I mean, they had those Pokemon cards for a while at the General Mills boxes. Do they still have like prizes and toys or prizes in cereal boxes? I don't know. I don't really get cereal that does that anymore. But anyway, we'll put her right here. No. Oh, does she have trouble standing up? I hope not. Nope, she's good. All right. Shoot, what the heck was this one's name? I'm here singing the praises of Gummy Bears, and yet I'm trying to remember the names of some of them. This was the Grouchy one. Which is weird considering the face he's making right now. Was it Grouchy? Was that his name? No, Grouchy was a Smurf. I'll put up a thing if I get the names wrong. But anyway, yeah, he was. This is very strange because I remember him being like the kind of the grumpy one. Was it Grumpy? No, Grumpy was the 7 Dwarfs. Guys, I might be brain damaged. I think I'm getting too old for this. But yeah, here's another one. And the 4th one in the set was Tubby, the fat one, who was always eating. Voiced by Lorenzo Music. I remember that because he had a very distinct, pleasant voice. One thing you'll notice about these figures is that they're very thin, or they're very flat, rather. I don't know if that was because they were in boxes of cereals, maybe to help take up less space. But that it is kind of weird when we look at certain ones in this line, but... yeah, this one, I guess this one's not too bad. He's okay, yeah, he's a little flat. I guess they're meant to be seen like this. And he's got the gummy berry juice so he can bounce around, which they referenced in the DuckTales reboot. Speaking of DuckTales, here's DuckTales. They had DuckTales, of course, the most famous of the Disney afternoon cartoons. Here's Scrooge McDuck with his money bag. Gonna go put it in the money bin and swim in it. Yep, there he is. Truthfully, I don't think there's a whole lot to say about these. They do look really cool, and they are fun to collect, especially nowadays. They're pretty easy to get. I'll maybe talk about that a little bit more at the end. Anyway, here's Louie. This is Louie, right? Louie with For a second, I thought he had like a Ghostbusters thing going on. That's a flashlight, and he has a backpack on. Unfortunately, he's the only one of the nephews that got made into this. I don't know why, but it would have been nice if they had done more lines for these, individual shows, or more figures rather for these individual shows. because a lot of characters did get left out of this, and you'll see as we go along here. But instead of the other nephews, we get Webigail, everyone's favorite. Truth be told, I didn't actually mind this character. It wasn't until the reboot that came out that people were like, yeah, Webigail kind of sucked. And I'm like, did she though? Okay, I can kind of see it, but I don't know. She never really bothered me that much. She was like the younger of the kids, so I guess to me, in my head, her way of acting and speaking was probably very appropriate. This one I think is starting to brown a little bit. I don't know if that's dirt. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's just starting to yellow. That does happen with, of course, a lot of old plastic things. There are ways to fix this. I think you gotta like bathe it in peroxide or something and leave it out in the sun or something like that. I don't remember. I'd rather not mess around with it too much. I might strip the paint off. But the ones I got are probably the best looking ones I was able to find. I did collect these years ago. And I think they are still pretty easy to find. Anyway, here's Gizmo Duck, everyone's favorite. I love Gizmo Duck, who crossed over onto Darkwing Duck. But I always loved him. He just any character with like a robot motif when I was a kid, just really liked. I believe he was the hardest one to find at the time, because again, this was from years ago. But I do remember him being the hardest one to find. I was actually looking on eBay recently just to refresh myself and see how hard these are to get nowadays. They're not really hard to get, and I did see some Gizmo Ducks, so that's kind of nice. All right, moving on to the next show. Let me get them up here. We have Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Here's Chip, looking like Indiana Jones, and here's Dale, who looks like Tom Selleck from, what was it, Magnum P.I. or something? Yeah, this was a detail that nobody noticed, because, I mean, kids loved Indiana Jones. I don't think a lot of kids watched, Tom Selleck TV shows, but yeah, that was kind of a nice little Easter egg that went unnoticed for years. I got Chip here pointing that way, I guess saying, let's go. Let's go, team. And then Dale's just like, what? Because he's the dumb one. All right, we'll put them there. We'll have Chip lead the way over here, make sure he's on camera. And then we have Gadget, everyone's favorite, especially in certain circles. She's got her wrench because she was the one that fixed all the things. I actually have a Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Let me move the camera up real quick. I want to show you. I have a Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers button up there. The mic is now away from my face, but yeah, that's cool. I saw that at a little shop, and I picked it up because I like Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. So yeah, there she is. She's got some red on the back of her head. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you find these at like flea markets and stuff. The flea market I go to tends to have tables that have like McDonald's toys and just various other tiny things, and I do like to pick through them every once in a while, and occasionally I find something good, which I have on previous flea market trips. We'll leave her in the middle of Chip and Dale so they can fight over her. And then we have Monterey Jack, voiced by Peter Cullen, and then later who was it that Jim Cummings, I think, was, but it was Peter Cullen who originally voiced him. No zipper in this line, unfortunately. They could have at least like had him like sit on Monterey Jack's shoulder or something. But yeah, again, another case of a larger character looking kind of thin for this line. But again, from the front, looks very good. I do remember having other PVC figures of the Rescue Rangers. I don't have many more, unfortunately. Maybe I'll track those down one day and get those, because I have other Disney little figures I can show off. All right, now we move on to my personal favorite from the Disney afternoon, Tailspin, my favorite. Tailspin was basically DuckTales, except they weren't rich. They were like regular, like blue-collar folk. And I think that helped it stand out to me, because, it's fun going on adventures with Uncle Scrooge, but you have a relatable guy like Baloo I think it works a little bit better. Again, probably the biggest offender when it comes to how thin these are. Yeah, Baloo's a big guy, and he looked like he got looked like somebody dropped a piano on him, and he's all flat now, in true cartoon fashion. Also, his pose. Oh my goodness, Baloo! I'm so sorry. They did my boy dirty in this line. Probably my least favorite. Also, some of the proportions are a little bit weird. Like, look at his leg. Like, again, from the front, it's not too bad. It's just that when you make those turns where things start to get weird, and it's unfortunate. Again, I don't know why some of these are so thin, but they, I guess it was to save space in the cereal box so you can have more of your sugary cereal and get sick as an adult because he ate so much sugary cereal. Anyway, here's Kit Cloud Kicker, his little adopted buddy. I like that his base is the little thing that he likes to fly around on, although they didn't color it silver like it was in the show. Yes, he was really cool. He was one of the pirates, and then he joined up with Baloo and became pals and joined the delivery thing that they did. Anyway, there he is. Much more. Well, again, some of the proportions do get a little weird as you turn it around, but he does look. He's definitely a little bit better than Baloo turned out. And then you have Molly. Surprising that they included Molly in this. Unfortunately, Rebecca is not in this, nor is Shere Khan or Wildcat or Louie. They did have an action figure line for Tailspin. I've been wanting to get a hold of it for a long time. I got to tell this story. I was trying to get a hold of the Tailspin action figure line. Years ago, someone on eBay had the entire collection for sale for cheap with accessories, and it turned into a bidding war, and I freaking lost. Still so angry about that. But anyway, I have these. I guess I'll deal with these for now. But there's Molly in a nice, cute little pose. They could have given her the colander she wore on her head when she was Mighty Molly or whatever. One gripe I do have with the DuckTales reboot, I do love that they included as much of the Disney afternoon as possible into the canon. I feel like the Tailspin characters could have been done a little bit better. For one, well, they were only in one episode, and it was Kit and Molly as adults. So Baloo and Rebecca were not a part of it. And I don't know. I don't really like how that turned out. I know Tailspin is kind of a period piece because it's supposed to be like, I don't know what era, like early 20th century-ish, around that time. Maybe like the 40s, the 30s or 40s or something. I don't remember the exact era that it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to be old, and I guess by DuckTales standards, it would be old, and they'd have the kids grow up. I don't know. I kind of wish that we got to see Kit and Molly hanging out with the nephews and going on adventures. It's a shame. Oh well. One thing they did pretty well in the DuckTales reboot, well, aside from one thing, Don Carnage. Oh man, who doesn't love Don Carnage? I didn't like his voice in the reboot. I like how the character was handled. I don't like his voice, because his voice in the Tailspin show was so good. It was just, I believe that was also Jim Cummings, and he was doing a Desi Arnaz impression, from I Love Lucy. He's like, Lucy! But my God, the voice on this guy, was so good. Looks like we captured you. Like, he would say stuff like that. Hello, it is I, Don Carnage, speaking to you with my voice. I don't do it justice. There's compilations of him just being funny on YouTube, and it's just so good. He actually looks pretty good like this. He's not a large character, so he's looks very good. Looks very dashing. He's probably one of the best villains from the Disney afternoon, I think. But there you go. Again, unfortunate that they didn't get more characters from each show. So these were the ones that came out first. I don't remember the order of which they came out. Maybe, I assume maybe they did it chronologically by show. But, this was the first wave, I guess. And then there was a second wave of 2 more lines. Darkwing Duck came out later. Oh, this is actually a really good figure. Yeah, very nice. I do like that a lot of these did turn out well for, serial prize toys, which, you never know with these, but they definitely did a good job capturing the likeness of a lot of the characters. But yeah, Darkwing Duck, another great addition of the Disney afternoon. This is also how you get Launchpad, who will absolutely, well, he's a little bit small in comparison to the rest of the crew, but I guess you could incorporate him with DuckTales. DuckTales and Darkwing Duck at the time are two separate continuities. They're not they're not connected at all. I know the characters like I believe Gizmo Duck and of course Launchpad showed up in the show, but they're supposed to be completely separate. The 2017 reboot rectified that though. Another one that looks pretty good. His hand looks a little bit. Oh no, it looks fine. It's a little square, I guess, but overall, I think this one turned out really good. Put him right there next to DW, and then we have Gosalyn, who actually I think does work pretty well with the DuckTales one. Launchpad, I feel like maybe shrinking Darkwing a little bit and then making Launchpad a little bit bigger, like make him Baloo's size. And that's another thing about the DuckTales reboot that I wish we didn't get to see Baloo and Launchpad hanging out. That would have been hilarious. But anyway, here's Gosalyn, DW's adopted daughter, and I guess a little young detective and scamp, and always getting into trouble. I liked how she was handled in the reboot as well. Again, didn't see her a whole lot, but it was the DuckTales show, so they tried to incorporate as many characters as they can. There's only so much airtime, I suppose. There she is, right there. Put her next to Launchpad, and then we have Megavolt, voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who I didn't even know that at the time. Dan Castellaneta has always been Homer Simpson to me, but my God, he's been in so many things. He was Earthworm Jim. He was Genie from Aladdin for Return of Jafar and the TV show. I think they brought Robin Williams back for the third Aladdin movie, if I'm not mistaken. But he filled the role pretty well, I think. He's a very, very versatile actor. He looks a little weird, but I think that's meant to be. The character is a little on edge and wacky, but again, I think he looks pretty good. Yeah, not bad. I like the colors on him. Very, very vibrant yellows. I think maybe it's because these ones are not as old as these ones, so they look a little bit better. The DuckTales ones, of course, have kind of suffered over the years. They've unfortunately been around a while. And there's one more set that came out, as far as I know, and I think you can probably guess which one it is. Goof Troop, and we'll always be together. It's Goof Troop. There he is. Goofy. World's best dad. Who would have thought, right? I actually didn't watch a whole lot of Goof Troop. I remember seeing the movie at some point, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't watch a whole lot of Goof Troop at the time. Don't know why, but I'm sure it's a fine show. It's a little more grounded than a lot of these other shows, which dealt with like treasure hunts and supervillains and paranormal stuff, and then Goof Troop was just like, oh, just gotta raise my son. That's not how Goofy sounds. Jeez. All right, we'll put Goofy up there. Oh, Goofy, don't fall down. If you do, I'm gonna have to put in the Goofy yell. Here's Max. Here's young Max, of course, because he was younger in the show than he was in the movies. He's got his rollerblades on because it's the 90s, and he's got to be cool. Again, I do like the colors on these later ones. The vibrant paint jobs look very nice, and yeah, these are crafted pretty well for the most part, I would say. Again, a lot better than you would expect from a cereal prize toy. And here's Peg Leg Pete, or just Pete, I guess. There is Goofy's neighbor. I like how they utilized him in the show, because he was typically a Mickey Mouse villain in the original, shorts. But I guess it works pretty well for Goofy, I suppose. I haven't seen all of the Disney shorts, so I don't know if they have any interactions outside of the show, but whatever. It works. But there he is. Very chunky figure. He actually, you can tell the flatness is still happening with these, but he doesn't look so bad on him. I guess by now they kind of learned to proportion the characters a little bit better, although there's really no excuse for Launchpad being so small. Anyway, and that was Pete Sr., so here's Pete Jr., Pete's son, who is Max's friend, and he's got the skateboard, because, again, this is the 90s, and it's cool. But, yeah, there he is. The flatness on him doesn't really show up that well. The proportions don't... Well, the leg's a little weird, I guess, but the proportions don't look too bad with him. I'm going to be impressed if I can actually balance him very well. Hey, look at that. Stands up nicely. Well, that's the entire collection of the Kellogg's Disney Afternoon PVC figures, as far as I can tell. I don't think there were any other ones made. There are, of course, many Disney PVCs you can get from, the parks and various other things. I do have one more thing to show off, though. I have this, which is a Disney Afternoon 4-pack. I guess it's like a sample pack of figures. I don't know where you could have gotten this. I bought this at a flea market years ago, and I was kind of surprised to see it. It is very flat. Maybe this was like inserted into a cereal box or something, or maybe it was like a mail away or something. It doesn't have a peg hole, so I don't think they sold this at stores, or I don't know. But you get Baloo, you get Tubby, you get Dale, and you get Scrooge McDuck. So you get, again, like a little sample platter of the Disney Afternoon stuff. I did see one other blister pack of this online, and it was much bigger, and I think it had like the entire set in it. Again, I don't know where you could have gotten it. Maybe it was a mail away or something. On the back, there we go. Look for these Kellogg cereals to complete your set of 16 Disney Afternoon figures. And as you can see, this was like the first wave here. The first 4 sets of figures. And you got all your cereals there: Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispies, Fruit Loops, Smacks, which I don't think I've seen in a while, Corn Pops, I'm pretty sure they still sell those, Apple Jacks, and Cocoa Krispies. I don't think I've seen Cocoa Krispies in a while either. They have like maybe they still have Cocoa Krispies. I don't know if they have the monkey as the mascot. He never really resonated with me. I like the 3 dudes who make the Corn Pops, the Rice Krispies. They don't make the Corn Pops. Nobody makes the Corn Pops, except this guy. Wait, I'm looking at Apple Jacks. Guys, my brain is not working today. But yeah, there's a little thing you can buy, and I guess it'll get you started on your collector's journey to get the rest of these. Like I said, I think these are still pretty easy to find. They're pretty cheap. I remember not paying more than a couple bucks for each one of these. The hardest one I remember finding is Gizmo Duck. And I think I mentioned that earlier. And he was a little bit more expensive than others. Not like a crazy amount, but yeah, he was definitely a little bit more. I did check on eBay earlier just to see if they're still selling these. And yeah, they're still out there. So if you're looking to collect the set, you can do that. And you should have very little trouble making that happen. All right, well, thanks for watching this video of me just showing off old figures. Then again, that's basically how this whole thing started. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and check out the other videos. And I will see you guys later.